Yeah.
Yes.
I need to pick a county famous. I need my free soaps coupons in there.
Okay.
Here we go.
Live.
Is it a 3, 2, 1?
No. Live.
So are we live?
Yes.
So sorry for the delay, guys. We kind of had crazies letting loose in here. And I apologize for anything you might have heard earlier, but welcome to tonight's show. Right, Stewart?
Yes. We've been very busy today. We've been on the go before we even managed to open. It's just been one thing after another. So at least we finally have it together now.
Yes, we do. Thank God. So tonight we have Gillian Arnold with us. She's our guest speaker, and she's going to be talking meditation. So if you're there and if you're actually seeing this now, you want to come on the comment and say hi and let us know that this is being sent out. What? You're allowed to talk out loud, rather.
2 watching.
Oh, hey, we got 2 people so far. Who's watching so we can say hi? Don't be shy.
Oh, we have one person.
Like
Crystal.
Good,
is
so good
watching.
at it.
Hi,
Hey,
Crystal.
Crystal, we love you. Hope you're feeling better.
Just refresh that page.
We did something.
No, she's just finding the other line. I'm finding the cotton string.
Oh, okay. So we're just going to wait a few minutes before we actually get into talking with Gillian here. It's a chance for people to pick up the feed where we were so late tonight. It has been a crazy busy day. Stewart and I were both here since before 10 o'clock. Maybe we'll take this opportunity to talk about the new product that we're going to have an introductory price on this floor.
Sure.
Just giving people a chance.
Yeah.
Don't forget, comment, talk to us, say hello, ask your questions.
So, do you want to?
Yeah, you
Okay.
take this one.
So, we have our new product here, which is solid perfume.
Hey, let's let Gillian have a little sniff.
Okay.
Oh, that is nice. What?
This is sandalwood. And you kind of rub it on. Here, you can have a little piece for being a guest. You just rub it on your pulse points.
So right now we have 4 different scents, but we're working on bringing more in the future, hopefully. Right now we have sandalwood, Egyptian musk, and 2 in-store blends. One is called Cineris, and one is called Seasons
You've got to
Greetings.
smell the snares. Are we picking up any more?
So, how do you pronounce it?
Cineris,
Cineris.
It's Celtic for
the horned god.
the horn god. I figured we'd stay with our mythical theme.
Mhm.
Oh, I like that one. Smells can be so calming.
They can.
That one's nice. How many
Are we having dramas?
different varieties do you
You're
have?
allowed to talk.
We
Oh,
have
loud.
these 4
I'm
scents
just waiting for the
currently,
comment to load.
and
Being slow.
Oh, okay. We're really, really sorry if there's any lag time, if it's being slow. We're just having a bit of internet issues tonight.
It's a work in progress.
but like I mentioned, we have the 4 scents that we currently have in store, but we are looking to add more in the future, hopefully soon.
There we go. Crystal Godet gave you a compliment. She says the sandalwood scent is awesome, and I also agree. I love the solid perfumes.
Thank you, Crystal. We love you. So, do you think we're ready to start picking up and having Gillian do a little talk about herself?
Absolutely, if you guys are ready.
All right.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Gillian. I'm here to talk about meditation, which I'm a firm believer in, but not an expert.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, interrupt at any time.
Do you have a job like doing yoga or something like that?
Yeah. I'm a yoga instructor,
Okay.
and my niche is working with people who have mental health issues and addictions, because yoga and meditation can alleviate some of the symptoms, and with addictions can also help with withdrawal and cravings and things like that. And I'm a survivor of both, so that's why I chose it, because when yoga and meditation came into my life, it really helped me to ground me and to bring me where I am now.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I started meditating in 2010, and I've been doing it consistently since then. It's very difficult. A lot of people think and expect it to just be this blissful relaxing experience every time. But what I say to do is just let go of expectations. The reason it can be difficult is because people think the biggest misconception about meditation is that you have to clear your mind of all thoughts.
I was actually going to ask you that.
Right?
Anybody who knows me really well knows that I have 1,000 bees swarming around in my brain at any friggin' time.
Yeah.
And when I do meditate, I can't quiet those bloody bees.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying I don't actually have to?
No, because it's completely natural for your brain to think. We're always planning. We're always thinking back and ruminating why we said things, why we did things, why we forgot to do things. The list goes on, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the main objective of meditation is to just be aware of those thoughts and to let them pass. What I like to say is that thoughts are kind of like sounds that you hear,
Mm-hmm.
because when a sound comes, it also goes away. So if you will, you can think about the qualities of a mountain. And a mountain is always still, no matter what's going on around it. So if you try to bring that into your being while you're sitting there meditating, then the thoughts that are coming into your head are like clouds, and they just come into your vision, and then they
The goal
pass.
is I'm going to be the mountain. I'm just going to let those mountains float around. I can be aware of them, but I don't have to control them.
Right. You can look at it and you can say, oh, I'm nervous about whatever it may be. Oh, I'm planning about this. Okay, there it is. And always come back to your breath. And even the most experienced meditator will tell you that you're not failing when you're having these thoughts. You're succeeding when you come back to your breath.
Okay.
So Stewart was talking earlier about having a point of focus. And what was it, Stewart, that you said you had at home to focus on?
At home, I currently have a quartz-based balls, 2 marble balls, and a garnet ball. And they're just small little baseball-sized pieces of stone that you can hold. They're smooth and gives them to focus on.
Right. So some people like to use objects to focus on. I personally like to use my breath as the object to focus on. So, the guru of mindfulness, John Kabat-Zinn, once said that if you're breathing, there's more right with you than wrong. And so with mental health and addictions, we carry a lot of anxiety, and you feel like you can't breathe. And with the meditation, when those thoughts are swarming, you're beginning to feel like, I can't do this. I can't sit here and do this.
I'm going to jump in for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are having panic attacks, they're having super stressful situations, their breathing is getting out of control. When that happens, there's this technique, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a grounding technique, and it's like 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that like a similar concept?
It is. That is a sensory meditation. Yeah, and so just exactly what you said. You look around, you say 3 or 5 things that I can see and say it out loud. Breathe in through your nose and identify any smells that you can smell, and listen and identify any sounds that you can hear. And it's proven that it does calm your mind, because in those panic attack situations, it's an irrational thought process, right? Even though it feels very real, right? So you can do that. You can also do it's called alternate nostril breathing, and that really helps with the panic attacks as well. So all that is you just take your hand and you're going to place your middle finger or one of your fingers on your forehead. And you're going to start by closing off the right nostril and breathing in through the left, closing the left, and breathing out through the right. In through the right, closing off and out through the left. And that also calms and deepens your breath.
I think because it causes a focal point.
That could be
Yeah,
that could be
alternating.
true. Yeah.
Stuart, you're very quiet tonight. You're very quiet tonight.
Anne Lawrence is
Hey, Anne.
she wishes she didn't miss most of the group night, but
What group night, honey?
it just says wish I didn't miss most of the group night.
If you're talking about the community nights, that's actually not until Friday, and we're going to be talking about EFT then. And if you're worried about tonight, we were really late getting started. But yay, Anne, it's nice to see you.
Hopefully we'll see her at the next group night.
Hopefully. Sorry, so to go back to the topic, we're all picking on Stewart tonight. You're being so quiet tonight. Maybe a little bit of meditation from all the stress for you getting everything started with the show.
I'm kind of focusing on the stream a bit too, just to make sure that there isn't anything going wrong with it, kind of thing. And
You're guarding.
yeah, I'm worried about it crashing and burning. And
Well, thank you for doing that.
We love you, Stewart. You got our backs. So sorry, Jillian, to go back. Oh, do you have a question, Ron? Okay.
So I was just wondering, did you want to just try a quick little breath meditation?
Sure.
Yeah.
Stewart, you want to?
Would you like to? Yeah. It's quite simple, but it's just something that I do as many times during the day as I need to ground myself and to really feel rooted back into the earth. So you just sit with your feet both flat on the floor, and you're gonna have, try to imagine yourself as that mountain. So first you're gonna feel your feet pressing into the earth and feel grounded. With your arms, what I do is I just let them fall, and then when I pick them up, I just let them fall on my knees wherever they fall. Yep, just bend them at the elbows and plop them on your knees wherever it's comfortable. And then with your eyes, some people choose to close their eyes. Some people like to keep their eyes open. If you like to keep your eyes open, I suggest that your gaze be on the floor, kind of maybe about 4 or 5 feet away from you. Just a soft kind of gaze. So then the breath. Then you just come to your breath and you're breathing. You're alive. There's more right with you than wrong with you. Be aware of your breath in your body, wherever it feels most available for you, whether that be your nostrils, your throat, your chest, your stomach. And don't try to change the breath. You're not judging how you are breathing. You're just looking at it. You're looking at it coming in, breathing fresh air in from the environment, and breathing the toxins out of your body.
That's another thing with meditation. I'm sorry, I'm just going to cut in there.
It's okay.
When I try to meditate at home, I get so focused on my breath, I start hyperventilating.
Okay, so that's another misconception is that it's not trying to control your breath or deepen it. And I struggled with that as well, Carrie, like a lot.
Yep, Crystal has a question for you.
Sure.
She would like to know, is it necessary to sit down for meditation, or is it okay to lay down? She finds it hard on her back to sit for long periods.
Yeah, thanks for the question. You can meditate in any position that is comfortable for you. You definitely don't want to be in any pain. So if you have back issues and it really hurts to sit up, lie down. Do what you want. My dad always falls asleep every time he meditates. And you can start there's lots of things on the internet and on YouTube that you can do guided meditations. I kind of moved from that to silent meditation. But when I first did it, I found it really, really helpful because it also, somebody's voice is talking, and it kind of brings you away from those thoughts as well. So it can be quite enjoyable.
Now that we kind of got a meditation, do you have a question, Ronald?
Anne Lawrence says she had a heart attack during a panic attack and was not able to control it. Learned so much since then how to keep control of myself. was so horrible not being in control of what I was feeling at the time, and you guys are giving great advice.
Oh my gosh, and
Wow.
we're so glad that you conquered that heart attack, honey.
That's awesome.
That is so frightening. A panic attack is scary enough on its own, but
Absolutely.
to be having a heart attack, oh my gosh, honey, you are so brave. So I hope you really enjoy the show, and I hope there's lots of useful information there. You got to take care of yourself.
And I'm glad that she's using your guys' advice. Very glad.
Really glad you're okay and you got through that as well.
Excellent.
It is like, wow, honey, you're a rock. I am gonna take it to meditation tools for a minute. So do you mind passing those tincture bells? We have singing bowls. They're a meditation tool. Can you show me how to use these? They're tincture bells. What is the purpose of them during a meditation?
These are just to signal the beginning and end of a meditation so that, you don't want to have an alarm on your phone or like an alarm go off. You don't want to be jolted back to your daily life. You want to be able to just come back calmly and take that grounding and that calm energy that you've gathered during the meditation with you for the rest of your day. As for using them, I don't know. I have never used them before. So I have no idea.
Okay, we have another kind of bell over there. So that would be this for the start and end of the meditation?
Yes, yeah, that's what they use them for.
Okay.
And I've seen them used before, and the singing bowls. My sister would probably know how to use these. They're very cool.
Well, do you want to explain the function of the singing bowl for meditation?
It's the same. It's the same kind of thing.
I know how to make it sing.
Yeah.
So it's to start and end?
Yeah.
Just to kind of get you in that right, like, vibration?
Yeah.
Calm your
Exactly.
energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when you go to school and the bell rings, you know it's time to stop
I was trying to
talking.
run in the other direction.
Exactly.
So these are bells I might want to run too.
Mhm. Yeah. And I mean, just the sound of them, they're so exquisite. You're really good at that.
He's more calm and patient. So can you hear that on the show, guys? Sorry.
Awesome, Stewart.
One thing.
Should also mention too that there is a bit of a delay between what we are saying and what people
Yes.
are reacting to.
We still have that delay, folks. One thing I noticed with people that come in and play with the meditation bowl, the people that don't really know a lot about it, they really admire it and they like it, and I tell them a little bit about it. But you cannot hold the sides of the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have it resting
Flat.
completely flat. Otherwise, there's no sound.
Yeah.
It's
None.
just a clunk.
It is just a clump. So is there any other meditation tools that you would recommend, or you don't even need them at all?
No, you really just need your breath. That's really all you need. Some people are really do meditation for hours and hours, and the lady that had the question about the pain when she was sitting, there are equipment or props that you can use. You can place pillows behind you. If you're on the floor and you put a cushion just under your bum, it tilts your pelvis forward, so you don't feel like you're going to fall back as much. But when you see the typical picture of somebody that in your mind, somebody meditating and they're in full lotus pose with their legs completely crossed and with the mudra, and that it's nothing. I mean, we're Western, and it's evolving towards issues that we have in our day, in our daily life. People are so busy these days, and it's really great to just take time for yourself. I meditate before bed instead of watching TV because it helps me get a better
That's
sleep.
a good idea. I'm going to jump on the tools. So like incense, crystals, mats to be comfy, pillows. It's a personal experience, and you kind of use, like some people like me,
Mhm.
you know, with all those bees and all that chaotic
Buzzing
energy
around.
that I can be. Sometimes I need something to be like, oh, this is the time. You need
Exactly.
to start quieting. But you can also just be conscious of your breath.
Yes, you can. That's why you could be meditating at your job. You could be meditating at in your car in the parking lot. If you need to be grounded, you just need your breath. But like you were saying, you need something to signal, okay, it's time. Then those things are great. Light a candle, set the mood. You can put on some kirtan music. Surya Chandra from Fall River does a great kirtan, and they have lovely music. That kind of thing, something soft in the background.
So you kind of set the mood.
Yeah, you do. It's
It's kind of a way of self-indulgence, a little bit of spoiling.
For sure. And just to go back on how it can be very difficult and how people expect to come out of meditation experience feeling blissed out or feeling just so relaxed. But, you know, when you're focusing on your breath and you're not attaching yourself to any of the thoughts that you're having, other things can come up. And it can be quite intense, some of the feelings that you may start crying. You may have to get up and leave, and that's okay. There was many times in my early recovery where they did mindfulness group at Addiction Services, and I had to get them to leave the door open because I was having panic attacks. And I brought my father there one time, and he actually had to get up and leave. Because it's our society is not accustomed to slowing down.
No.
Right? But we should. We all deserve to have that inner peace. And definitely meditating helps you along the way.
I can see the benefits of that. I can totally see it. You know, maybe if we were more aware of ourselves and we were kinder to ourselves and we were going slower, not trying to live 3 lifetimes in one, you know, maybe we would actually be less stressed out.
Exactly.
Less mean,
I like
be
how
more
you
social.
say be kinder to yourself, because I think that compassion is seriously lacking in the world, and I think that that's one thing that can cure all of the greed and the evil that's in the world. There is actually a Buddhist meditation called the loving kindness meditation.
Maybe you ought to teach me that one later.
And it's just, you say 3 times, may I be at peace, may I be healthy, and may I be happy. And then you switch to someone who you love and think of them and say, may Carrie be at peace, may Carrie be happy, may Carrie be healthy. And then you switch to someone who you find challenging. The other day I was doing it and I did Donald Trump. I'm sorry,
Right.
but I did.
You've got the soul of a saint. Come on now, sister.
I said those 3 things, and then you say the 3 things to the world and then back to yourself. And it resonates. It resonates in you and all around you. I truly believe that, yeah.
Yes. Stewart, you got any? You want to chip anything in there?
No.
You're still calm and de-stressing from there.
Yes.
You can also use
You want me to get
chanting,
on now?
mantras.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No worries.
If you have trouble sitting still or those bees are buzzing around, you can pick a mantra. Anything, you can use that as your mantra, or you can use anything really. Just I am me, I am here.
Would this help ADHD and ADD?
I'm not really sure how that would. I know that it's a stress reliever. I know that it can calm those racing thoughts, and deepens your breath, which then calms your thoughts. It can help with a physical pain as well. I'm not really aware of like what ADHD. I think that's
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
okay. So that's a mental health disorder as well?
Yes.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I am ADHD. Surprise. The bees, the constant buzzing, I cannot sit still when I'm being forced to sit still for the show. And you notice I talk with my hands, I'm constantly in motion. And for me, meditation's really hard because you're asking me to be still. But there's ways of coping with it, and I certainly don't believe in medication. I just need to learn to deal with it myself. And some days I'm like total high level. Other days I can be more grounded. I do actually find grounding helps that. I also talk super fast, which I'm probably, because today's a serious ADHD day.
Totally. Question. It is, I believe it's directed for you, Stewart.
Okay.
Anne Lawrence would like to know, do you use your rocks to give peace, meditate? I think that's what.
Are you, if you're referring to the rocks that I was mentioning earlier, the marble and quartz balls, I personally use them as a grounding object because it just gives me something to feel, something to hold, something to, for lack of better words, to weigh me down. I'm trying to meditate.
And Crystal Cadet said that maybe a guided meditation would be good for somebody that has ADHD, and I think that's a wonderful suggestion.
Yeah, I can't be left on my own to meditate. I tried that once. It was not working with my daughter Ashley, and I was trying to do an unguided. It was the one you sent me, Crystal. It was an epic failure. It was just music playing, and it just kept changing, and I just couldn't shut up. Blah, 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 blah.
I think that's a great suggestion, the guided meditation for the ADHD, because when you were talking about it, I was thinking maybe something to focus on other than your breath, that like the stone or the guided meditation, or to have something you can repeat in your mind to kind of physically
I need direction.
some structure.
I need
Some
direction.
structure.
That is
yeah.
actually sort of straight. You want to say something?
I just want to say that it kind of goes back to why I do use the stones, is when I am sitting still, I subconsciously, because I have trichophilia, which is a condition where you will pick at your hands or parts of your extremities. Yeah. And I will use the stone as something to hold and something I can rub and interact with rather than picking at my own hands and stuff. Same as using a worry stone or twirling a ring or something, but that way it has something for you to focus on while you're meditating as well, so you're not picking at your hands.
That's excellent.
Don't think I have trichophilia. I think it's that I can't sit still.
Yeah.
For me, but I understand the concept where you're constantly having to
move your hands.
With meditation, I think whatever works for you is the way you're meant to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's great that you use that.
To go to structure though, that's one of the ways that I cope with my ADHD. My routine is fairly rigid, and I love loops. But even my son, he's ADHD, and we didn't use meds with him. We used structure. And then we'd have a blow-off day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would be the rules are relaxed and you can just be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need structure and everything, structure and meditation, because like I said about the panic attacks earlier, because I'd be so focused on the breathing and the bees would be buzzing about the breathing and the constantly moving and I'd be like, it's not peaceful.
Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of need someone telling me when to do what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need to be able to be kind with yourself. Don't, if you are getting distracted by your thoughts or whatever, who cares? Just come back to what you're doing. Okay, I got distracted. That's fine. We do need to have that compassion with ourselves, or you're just going to set yourself up for failure. You're not going to do it again.
What about walking meditation? Does that help with distraction?
Oh, yes. So the way that we walk today is we're always going someplace, right? Walking meditation is a way of meditating where you're walking very slowly, that slow that you are concentrating on not just every step you're taking, but every part of your foot that's touching the ground at that moment, and how when your body, knows that your left leg is done and your right one should go now. And that's maybe another way for people with mental health issues to get that structure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. My luck, I'd end up counting the damn steps. 1, 2, 3. But I can see where it would be a wonderful thing. And you're right, because with all the distractions and all the fidgeting, I don't like to meditate in the class because I ruin it for everybody. And you do feel a sense of failure. And then it's like, well, I never want to do that again. Plus you're hyperventilating and then you're crying.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
it can be a big ordeal.
Yeah, it's not just something that comes naturally to us in our society. What's natural in our society is the going, and the constant busyness. And
But you find it ironic that it's the going, and yet we're giving our kids medication to slow them down.
yes,
But yet, as an adult, we expect them to rush.
yeah, it's
But I can see
yeah,
properly done. There's ways for any situation to meditate, and that's wonderful news. And you don't have to beat yourself up over it. It doesn't have to be an ordeal. It
Right.
can actually be what it's meant to be, a little kindness to yourself, a pleasant experience, and a chance to catch your breath.
that's right. Finding space to breathe, right? Finding space for yourself, just to be who you are. When my business gets up and running, I'm going to be offering private sessions, which I think is really awesome for
Oh, we have an issue.
people in that situation.
I think we're freezing. I think our bandwidth is slowing down. So, for all you folks that are out there, can you tell us what you're seeing on the screen right now?
And we have another question. Yeah, Crystal wants to know if you could talk about the benefits of meditation.
That's a good topic.
Oh yeah, all kinds. I have a lot of. I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, and stress affects people physically.
Oh, yeah.
Right? A lot of people don't know that, but so on top of that IBS that I have, if I'm having a stressful day, it's just my stomach is just I'm out of commission.
I break out eczema.
Yeah. So meditation can help the stress to be relieved in any situation like that. With panic attacks, I was kind of having a mini panic attack before I came here tonight because I've never done something like this before.
It's stressful thought.
I had the butterflies in my stomach and I had Ativan in my hand and I was going to take one. And I used my meditation skills and I did the short breath meditation sequence and I could breathe.
Excellent.
Right? And so I didn't go to that medication.
So sometimes it can be like a quick fix. It doesn't have to be like an hour, 45 minutes.
No, and
it can
it's
just be
not-
a quick.
Yes,
grounding.
exactly, Carrie. And it doesn't have to be a life-changing experience every time you do it. It can just be that you need a moment. I just need a moment, and that's what you're going to give yourself.
So
and
it's something we could do, like standing at the line at the bank when we have to get home, when we have to cook supper, when we're late for this, and we have to get kids' homework done, and you're just feeling totally overwhelmed. And then you're in that line at the bank, and you just be like, I'm just going to take a breath.
yeah,
I'm just going to stop my time for.
just say, "Hey, Carrie, how you doing? I'm checking in on you." Just have a couple breaths to yourself, because otherwise, if you don't take those moments to yourself, it's you could snap at somebody in the line because you're so stressed out. You're thinking about all these hundreds of things you have to do tomorrow and tonight and the next day. But if you take that moment to breathe, it also gives you time to calm your thoughts, and you can think before you open your mouth.
That's
Does
probably
that
a
make
really
sense?
good thing.
I have that problem too.
Ryan McLean would like just let you guys know that the video and sound is clear on his end and there are no glitches. So that's awesome.
Thank you for the feedback. Like we were talking last week, this is a new experience for us. We thought we had some of the stuff from last week worked out, so we totally appreciate your feedback. You said Ryan?
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. We're very grateful. So I think we're all just going to take a deep breath right now, and I think it's going to go day for everybody. So everybody out there watching, I don't know, all 2, 10, 100 of you.
Eight. You're an 8 right now.
Eight's
All
a
of
great
you,
number.
and we were kind of, a lot of people probably thought there was going to be no show tonight because of the difficulties we were having. Why don't we all just stop and take a breath? Everybody in here, you all ready to do that? We're just going to stop and just take one big deep breath and say, hey, are you okay? Well, I'm still alive.
I'm still here.
Right now.
We all done with our breathing?
As a yoga instructor, you probably know the importance of breathing as well.
For
They
sure.
tie in like that.
Oh yeah. Meditation, I guess originally, with yoga, that's the purpose of yoga, is to prepare your body to meditate.
Oh. I did not know that. I thought it was
I
exercise.
wasn't really aware of that either until tonight. That's great to know.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions around yoga as well, because it is an Eastern science and it was brought here years ago. But a lot of the yoga studios that are around today, even in our county, focus on the asanas, which are the poses, the physical aspect, but that's only one limb of yoga. There's actually 8 limbs of
Do you
yoga.
want to elaborate on that? I am really, really sorry I have to do this. I drink way too much tea. I'm going to do the Stewart for me.
Okay, yeah. Just to elaborate on that, like it's only teaching when you're doing the poses of yoga, you're only practicing one aspect of yoga. There's pranayama, which is the breath. There is dharana, which is concentration. There's the yamas and the niyamas, which are the yamas are how we act in our social behavior, and the niyamas are observances, like self-study, self-discipline, and those kinds of things. So when I took my teacher training, I learned about all of those. I'm not professing to know everything about them, but I think it's really important to include all of it in your practice, not just the poses. Now for me, I would never probably go to like a hot yoga or a power yoga, because it's just not something that's not why I came to yoga.
Mhm.
So, but a lot of people do the physical part and do it really well, so.
Okay.
You back?
And you know what's surprising? As always, it's gone by really, really fast. It's nearly 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Wow.
And you were
It's
so
been
nervous.
40 minutes then.
40 minutes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're sorry to
So-
cut it short tonight, folks, but my hubby, I need to call him at 8 o'clock. This is
You've
me.
had a very full day, Carrie.
We did have a very
Thank
full
you
day.
so much for having me here.
It was wonderful. I actually learned a tremendous amount, and now to me, meditation does not seem so intimidating.
Oh, that's
I can
awesome.
actually be me
Yeah,
instead of trying and control stuff that I can't control.
always be you. And it was nice to meet you. I saw you on the podcast last week, and
Thank you.
it was really nice to meet
It's nice to
you.
meet you too. Do we have a question?
Crystal Godet just said, awesome show, very informative, and thank you guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
Crystal.
Thank you for tuning in.
So we can't really promote your goals,
Mhm.
but can we do a little shout out to where you are a yoga instructor?
Yeah.
Well, that's your department.
For sure. I am certified yoga teacher. I have my 200-hour yoga teacher training, and I'm currently working on my 400 hours. So I took yoga with, it's the only yoga online training that is certified by the Yoga Alliance. So it was really cool. It was hard and lots of technical glitches along the way. But I teach yoga of all kinds. I can do modifications for. I've had challenges. People with injuries, disabilities, people in wheelchairs can do yoga. Yoga is for everybody,
So-
everybody.
Do you have a studio you're affiliated with?
I do not. No,
Okay.
no. When I come into my own, it's going to be my own.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
not going to talk too much about that because we don't want to do any kind of advertising.
No.
But I do want to thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Before we shut things down, Anne would just like to know, Stewart, if you're in the shop most days.
Yes. I'm in the shop most days, yes.
And Renee Fraser says, great job, everybody.
Thank
Aw,
you.
Thanks,
We're glad you
Renee.
watched the show.
Before we go, I would just like to say that, again, we're sorry for technical difficulties that we were experiencing today. We've been on the go and on the rush since we got in the shop this morning, and we just unfortunately left some things to the last minute and just weren't expecting it, to be honest. We
Yeah.
thought we had it figured out, but guess we didn't.
I think it's kind of just a day that we spread ourselves too thin. We tried to do
Yeah.
too much too fast.
Yeah. But with any luck, we'll have everything figured out by next week, and hopefully we might even have some new equipment next week if everything goes good and goes as planned.
Oh yeah. You also set up PayPal so that people can help us
Yes.
if they want to donate. You don't
Yep.
have to. It's totally optional, and you don't even have to donate much. But we are committed to bringing the best show possible,
Mm-hmm.
and Stewart did set up a PayPal if you choose to donate.
I've set up PayPal that can accept donations, and I've also set up, or I'm in the process of setting up what is known as a Patreon, which allows people to subscribe and make a monthly donation, but also get rewards in return. I will be sharing that information onto the Facebook later tonight or possibly tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have everything figured out for next week's show. Do you mind if we talk about a little bit next week's show?
No, I was actually going to because I
Okay.
want to give a reason for people to keep coming back.
Okay,
So do you want to?
I'll let you handle it.
So next week we are going to have the lovely Cherry Whitaker with us. I don't know how many people are familiar with her, but she has a group in the Glasgow Fire Hall every second Tuesday. It's a $4 donation, kind of like to pay for the hall. But what they do is they use your own energy to facilitate healing. These people are therapeutic touch. Yes, that is it, Raleigh. They are certified for this, and it's a wonderful experience. It's a great opportunity. But I don't know if you know, or especially you, Claude, Cherry Whitaker also does karate down in the downtown dojo. And she's just very active in the community, and she is going to be on next week talking to us about therapeutic touch. It's just a wonderful thing, kind of like meditation. There's so many ways out
I've
there.
gone to one of her sessions
She's
before.
wonderful, isn't she?
Mhm.
But there's just so many things out there that can help us live a better quality of life that most of us just don't really realize what
That there
is
is.
available to us
Yeah.
in Pictou County. And you know, people, we all got to start taking care of ourselves. We're burning our candles too bright. And that's exactly what we're doing as a society.
It's exactly what we were doing today.
Burning our candles
Yeah.
too bright. Yeah, we were.
You need
And-
to take your own advice.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And see, that's why you come on the show so that we can learn these de-stressing, calming techniques, and that you can't be a failure even if you have 1,000 bees.
That's right.
And it makes it not so
Very
scary
true.
and so overwhelming.
Mhm.
And so it's all about just taking care of ourselves and finding that way to simplify our stress, make it manageable, so that way we don't end up having heart attacks or high blood pressure or be on all these meds.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne Lawrence says she's a beautiful lady. A great teacher, touched my heart many years ago. Was so good to my sons way back in Salt Spring School. So
Yeah, Cherry is fantastic. And I really look forward to having Gillian with us tonight. And now I'm looking forward to having Cherry with us next week. And then after that, I think we're going to be having a special on Stewart.
Okay.
Very nice.
So I guess this is it, folks. We're going to sign off, say goodnight. We wish you the best and say take care of yourselves.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
And so now that you've got us, you can't get rid of us. Couldn't get it started, now we can't get